So, welcome back to the final installment of What's Next about artificial intelligence. In previous episodes, we've been talking about the history of AI, its main components such as machine learning and all the variants of it. And we've also guided you through a set of hopefully interesting and inspiring AI use cases. So, assuming that we have seriously whetted your appetite for AI, now the big question, of course, is how to get busy with it. My name is Tolido. I'm Chief Technology Officer for Capgemini's Global Insights and Data Practice. And I'm discussing today again with Marijn Markus, by now your favorite data scientist. Marijn, talking about getting busy with AI, what's the current state of affairs around AI? How are organizations dealing with it?
First of all, I see everyone's busy with AI, but a lot of the projects themselves are one-off, like to prove business value, to solve a concrete problem, after which the MVP is put into production, and that's that. Meaning various one-off AI projects end up dragging in the long term because the organization itself is not systematically prepared.
But it's understandable, right? It's understandable, I think, because AI as a technology is new to many organizations.
Oh yeah.
So the need to explore at an early stage and get actually hands-on with the technologies and creating proof of concepts and minimum viable products that simply give more experience, if nothing else, is already I think quite important.
Which you need.
Yeah, you need it, and if you can also establish some short-term benefits from it already from a, let's say, a point solution, I guess that's a good case anyway, right?
Indeed, but that's a short-term versus long-term approach. In that, in the short term, you need those proofs, and in the long term, then it becomes a different matter entirely, and that's what we want to discuss today.
And we should discuss that a little bit as well. So yes, there's the AI ambition phase, which is really about exploring the technology, understanding the different use cases and value cases, understanding a little bit about what it takes to provide a platform to do this at scale, get an equal level of enthusiasm both at the business side and the IT side. I think some of the best practices we've seen so far really combine business people and IT people in these exploration sessions. So I think all of that is crucial, but then we get at AI at scale, right? Actually transforming the organization through AI. What's to say about that?
Applied at scale, AI requires, investment in the back end. You need 80% of your time just to get the data, and the rest of the 20% of your time is spent modeling. In an ideal state when the organization itself is AI first, you'd be spending 80% of your time on modeling AI and only 20% on retrieving your data.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully
that's the case. So there will be a lot of automation. I think the veracity of the data, so the level of trust you can put into the data becomes more important by the day, I guess. So proper data foundations. After all, we've learned that AI very much dependent on data to learn from.
Of the right quality.
I think of the right quality and also provisioned in the right way without spending all of your day on getting the data from somewhere. I think are all very important prerequisites, right? And then, of course, AI will change a company. It will change processes, products, role descriptions, maybe even an entire business model. So actually understanding that transformation, decoupled from the fact, of course, that you have to implement AI as a standalone solution or add AI elements to existing ERP or other applications, right? I think all of these elements need to be taken into account for a proper transformation at scale.
And all of these elements can be implemented separately, but what you need in the end is a holistic vision of how to do all of these things.
Exactly. Strategy, architecture, governance, I think it all comes together over there. And we should realize it's usually not a separate thing. The way I look at it, at least, is of course there will be separate AI solutions. So you create something from scratch as an AI solution. But I believe in many more cases we will understand that transformation means I have a set of existing applications and I need to augment them with AI. I have existing processes, I want to augment them with AI. So if you look at it like that, there's virtually nothing within the organization that stays untouched.
There's always a process, always a process beyond the process. And when we are asked to automate this process or make this process more efficient or more intelligent, one of my ideal cases is the point where we didn't change anything about the process, but looked at the process underneath and implemented AI there, meaning the process was unneeded in the first place and you could go within seconds rather than doing 20-minute tours.
Well, if you think about that brings us a little bit to the third, I would say, step in an AI ambition, right? So you start to explore AI, then you start to implement at scale. And I think sooner or later you start to realize that an AI-first version of your company or your process or your product could look entirely different from what you anticipated beforehand, right? Then it becomes truly disruptive.
And there's a reason a whole lot of various organizations are reinventing themselves as IT organizations nowadays, because IT is a large part of what they do. And in time, AI could become a large part of what they do.
Exactly. And one of the key questions I find myself asking over and over again in AI strategy sessions is if you want to become an AI first company, AI by design, what's actually the data that you're holding that might provide the key to success, right? And this is often a moment of epiphany to companies in terms of, wait a minute, we've already been saving 8 years of production data over here and we've never used it. And now come to think of it, if we enrich it with other data and unleash it with AI, it could be a completely new source of business for us.
Organizational strategy in itself might become data-driven in that we have this and we can use this. Compliance told us 8 years ago to start logging it. Now we have it. Now we can create value from it if we couple it with this. And then attaining that might become a goal in itself.
Exactly. So that's a bit the AI first journey, I think. So it starts with exploring and articulating your ambition and getting hands-on with let's say short-term value cases. When you have that proper experience and you've learned about AI, you start to implement that skill, which effectively touches the entire organization. And sooner or later, you start to realize that an AI-first version of your business could actually look entirely different, and it becomes a large transformational intervention, if you like, potentially. So that concludes a little bit our journey around AI in this installment of the What's Next series. And obviously, if we're asking ourselves that question anyway, Marijn, what is next then?
What's next? Well, we'll keep building, because what we built yesterday and implemented yesterday as AI, tomorrow we'll call it automation or advanced analytics, meaning AI is whatever machines haven't done yet.
Which is an interesting thought to conclude our series. So if you want to know more about AI, by all means, reach out to us or look for the proper URLs popping up in this movie. We're looking forward to discuss with you around AI and future topics as well. Thank you very much for watching us. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.